Coffee Club, Coffee Club. Grind your beans and grab your favorite mug. It's Ollie, Morgan, George, and Gus. It's them boys from Coffee Club. Boys from Coffee Club.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Coffee Club podcast for episode 171. Indoor season is upon us for the Coffee Club boys. We have Mr. Oliver Hoer getting after it this week, busting the rusting.
My rust will get busted.
He's going to get busted this week, leading the charge. So we're very, very excited for that. This week, that's what our main focus will be. And then we have all this fun, unique news stories that we didn't get to last week. And then some new stuff from this past week as well. But before we do get into it, we do have a nice, lovely little bean shout out to start the episode off.
Yes, this just got received today.
It's a lovely bag.
It's a lovely
presentation.
Bag. Presentation is 10 out of 10. I'm trying to find the card, but we got 2 bags.
Oh, the card was cool, actually. You should find it.
I know.
It said something on the front.
There it is. I found it. So,
what's the story behind it?
You can always return it.
That's
Kate Spade, New York.
Wait, why is it going to...
I think it's just the card. It's just the card.
I didn't even notice that before.
Maybe the bag is Kate Spade. Maybe they reused a Kate Spade bag to give the beans.
So these are from the main line of Philly, but Malcolm and Molly from the Lightspeed lift, which I know Morgan mentioned that King Bob has an NIL deal with.
I think so.
And we also use it in our gym, and they're in town helping us with that setup. Molly's dad is the track's named after him, the Wisconsin track, outdoor track.
What's it called?
Wait, I thought it was...
That's what she told me today.
Sure?
What's the track called?
I thought it was the Dan McLennan track, which is named after a coach that passed away.
Yeah, that's her dad. He coached Tim Hacker when he was a sophomore.
How old is Molly? Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, that's her dad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so she...
Must have been the 80s.
Yeah, so thank God I got my facts right there. Because she just told me like an hour ago, but lovely Malcolm and Molly are in town. And then I could be getting my facts wrong here again because I was like zoning out.
First one lined up real good.
All right. But her daughter runs at Wisconsin right now. And then her son runs at Nova. So these bags are actually from Philly. So the Irish boys and all that sort of stuff, they go to this place, which is the Char and Starve Coffee. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong.
Char and Stave.
Char and Stave. Is that how you pronounce it, George? You're good at pronouncing things.
In Philly. Somewhere in Philly.
Bluebird Distilling.
We'll try to find it for the pen relays.
4-grain bourbon aged, barrel aged, which is George's favorite type of barrel aged. It's 4-grain.
Let's not spread that. This one smells good. The barrel aged, I'm a little scared by.
Char and Starve. Yeah. So this is where the Nova boys go, and we've got 2 bags from them. So we want to say a special shout out. They listen to the Coffee Club podcast. Molly was telling me she loves all the sayings and nicknames that we have, and we appreciate that from both of you. And thanks for decking out our gym with the Lightspeed. That's been a really valuable resource. I know Alicia's been using it. So, and I also want to kind of use it because it looks fun. You kind of get
the bungee cords.
The bungee cords. But
for anyone who doesn't know, the Lightspeed, it's similar to, well, I don't know if we bring up their competitor right now.
Yeah.
It's a much cheaper version of an Alta G. That's probably the best way to sell it.
It's a way of reducing your weight on a treadmill.
Yeah.
It looks like a squat rack on top of a treadmill.
So before
it looks kind of sick actually.
Yeah, before the Lightspeed people came in, Dathan used to just hold people up. Dathan would hold them up and then they would just run.
Tie string around you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Take some weight off.
But thank you, Malcolm and Molly. We appreciate these beans, and we will put them into great use. So that's our bean shout out.
Hell yeah. So moving on to this week, the new Balance Grand Prix is upon us, and we have many members of the team that's going out to Boston to compete in it, and one of them is our very own Oliver Hoer. For those, many of you would probably remember, actually... Shit, this was before the podcast started. I was going to say, Ollie does have a very, very good history at the New Balance Grand Prix.
I think people still remember. This is like the start of the Ollie Hoer
really
era.
Popped off.
Honestly,
he was popping off really before that on the
COVID.
US scene.
True.
And then that was, boom, January, like Olympic qualifier, 3:31. Was it?
32. So
32.
it's 7th all time indoors.
Yeah.
Maybe 8th all time now because Jakob's run 3:30.
Has he?
But top 10 all time indoors. That was when I got to shake Jake Whitecastle's hand and said, "Hi, I'm Jake Whiteman." And I said, "Hi, I know." And I ran against Sam Tanner, who also ran like pretty quick there as well.
Sam Tanner qualified for the Olympics that day.
It was a pretty awesome track. It was the interesting time when Morgan, George, and I were stuck in the hotel. Remember, near the airport?
Yeah, so this one was in New York. This was at the Ocean Breeze track. Which is very good facility. The area, not that great. So. But this was peak COVID racing.
Peak COVID. Like, we couldn't leave.
You couldn't do anything. We were staying at the Newark hotel. Our hotel was at the airport.
At the airport, yeah.
That's where you had to stay the whole
Getting
time.
food was difficult. I remember that. Getting food was very difficult.
You like had to order room service. And we just waited. I remember like waiting hours for it to try and get any food.
We also got Uber Eats, and it was the funniest thing seeing all these drivers like jumping over the pillars to get to our hotel because there's just a highway in between like our hotel and the airport.
Yeah, I raced, went to bed like, I don't know, kind of late that night. And then I had an early morning flight the next morning. I had to wake up super early. And I just remember just getting my bags. And
Did
then
you just walk across?
I just walked across. I just like jumped over a fence and just walked through the car park to get into the airport. I was just like, oh, this sucks.
It's literally an airport
It's in
hotel.
the middle of the winter.
That was brutal. But now it's at New Balance. Is it the new Balance track? Is that today?
It was there last year.
Yeah.
I think that was the first time.
Yeah.
No one went last year though from the team. I don't think.
No.
This is the first time someone on the team is running it at the track, right?
Yeah.
This was
Wait,
cool.
where was it in between that? I can't even remember. Oh, they had it at Harvard sometimes, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh no, the other one. There's Reggie Lewis.
There's so many tracks in Boston. I keep forgetting.
It did used to happen at Reggie Lewis, and then I think it went to Staten Island for like 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
While they were building
this track,
the New Balance track, and now, at least the last couple, maybe just last year, it debuted there.
Yeah. But nonetheless, we have Olli in the. Do we know if it's a 1500 or a mile?
What is it, George?
You will be running a 1500.
Yay! 1500. That's 109 meters less than what I thought I was running. I think.
Sorry. The first entrant, Graham Blanks.
Shooting blanks.
I guess
the 1500.
I guess he's under contract to run probably. So
That's
he's got to run something.
That's sick.
He's run the 1500, shooting blanks. That's great. Who's next?
Vince.
Vinny. 331, fourth at the US trials. He's pretty freaking good.
Could be
Yeah, this
dangerous
field's
indoors.
hilarious. Grant Fisher.
Grant's running as well?
What's going
Dude,
on?
Double Olympic medalist.
Are they sure they're not running? They probably think they're running the 15K, not the 1500, bro.
Oliver Hawari.
Yeah, let's go.
Josh Hoey.
Yes.
Oh, he could be.
Who's on a tear right now.
That'd be so interesting how he does in a 1500. I'm not sure what his PB is, but yeah,
he's probably trying to.
He just broke the American 1K,
1K.
600
600.
record. Almost broke the world record.
Yeah.
Speaking of Whitecastle, his training partner, Tom Keane.
Tom Keane.
Oh. Followed by Jake Whitecastle.
The man himself.
Kieran Lum, fellow on athlete.
Yep.
Stewie, another showdown with Stewie.
McSwaney?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I hope they get to room with him.
This is so interesting. It's the first time a lot of those Aussie boys are doing a real US indoors
Which is
tour,
exciting because
which
I
is
think
cool. Because they always make fun of the indoor tracks being short. So we'll see.
Stewie wants those short times, bro.
Yeah, we'll see.
Christian
Little Nobby.
Little Knobs.
Shout out.
Joachim Vermeulen.
Is that the Belgian?
Belgian dude.
Wow.
Who's that?
Okay, they had two.
He sounds really familiar.
Wait, I know who he is.
He's the one that bronze medal at
Yeah.
Europeans, maybe.
Yeah, it might be him.
Oh yeah,
Something.
yeah.
He's,
that
I think
sounds
one
right.
of them.
He
One of them
good.
is New Balance.
They ran real quick.
Yeah,
And when I say they, I mean the Belgian middle distance runners.
yeah. The Belgian middle distance popped off last year.
Last but not least, Joe Wascom.
So no
Nice.
Hobbs, no Tesla.
Yeah, I thought Hobbs was he doing the 3K?
That's his like classic. This event. This defending
I
champ.
think he won last year.
He did.
I think in our small preview of it last week we mentioned Hobbs was racing it.
Yeah, I think he must have heard it and he said, "You idiots!
Yeah.
I'm not racing that."
he's in the 3K.
Boo, Hobbs.
Yeah.
I
You
guess
dodging me, Hobbs. He's dodging me.
He's definitely listening. He's like,
Yeah.
no.
that was an interesting field. That was a bit of
Super
everything.
If I'm a former winner, can I choose who I room with? I should talk to
Who would you like to room with?
Either Hobbs or Stewie.
Yeah.
Or we could just put all the 1500 meter runners in one room and we have to sleep in one massive bed. And I dibs the middle.
They film it.
And then we have a bedtime story. We read something.
I like that.
Like Harry Potter or something.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool field.
Has there been chat of fast times? Trying
Dathan
to win?
wants to run 3:27, so we're looking at
Dathan himself wants to.
Dathan wants me to run. No, Dathan.
Did Jake say he wanted to run something quick? He
Wyman?
always kind of does.
I think he does. I mean,
he's always chasing, I guess, the qualifier.
the
Everyone's chasing the qualifiers.
Everyone's trying to chase the qualifier. The one thing with indoors is it's interesting. I guess Jordy,
Which is what as an update? 333.0.
That's the
for world
outdoors.
Or are you talking about the world indoor standard?
world indoor standard is 333.5.
Is it?
Yeah, the world outdoor standard is under 333.
So
0.0.
0.0.
okay.
So-
So people are probably trying to get both.
That'd be
of those.
nice.
Yeah,
to get.
it's
I
just
mean,
to
that's very fast indoors, but obviously it's been done before.
Yeah, it's been done with a broken coccyx. I remember I fell in the backyard when Carlos Villarreal was kicking the ball.
I was
up,
like, who had a
Yeah.
broken coccyx in that race?
and I thought I ended my career before it even started, but I was fine because
Rich
Jason.
was so stressed.
Yeah, Jason was amazing.
Didn't you see John Ball after that?
I saw John's ball, and he literally whispered to his assistant when he was trying to hold me down, doing like stretching out my hamstrings, going, "Can you hold this guy? He's too fucking tight." I was like, "Okay."
That sounds like my
What?
Olli.
How do you explain it to John Ball when you went in?
I said I landed on my butt, and I
Trying to kick a soccer ball.
and I heard a crack.
I
Trying
heard
to-
it crack. That's what you said.
Yeah, and
That's
trying to hit
scary.
a soccer ball. He just looked at me and didn't say anything, and then just went. I got on the table, and then he made me do the running on the table, running, and then
On the
I ran.
table.
I ran 3:32 indoors. But I think Rich wants to run the standards. I'm sure, but I mean, this is a really good time for me because I've been able to get some consistent training in the winter and the fall, which has been great. Because last year I had issues just staying healthy, like you mentioned with that cycle. I had the OP inflammation gooch situation, and then I had the fractured stress fracture sacrum. So being able to come through and train with the boys, train with my buddy, who me and Robert are part of the fan club of Knoxville, because we're on his Instagram.
Johnny.
Johnny Knoxville, yeah, Fark and Hall. So
Yeah.
the Knoxville duo, been doing well indoors. Yared's doing great.
We should give a special mention for Fark, and he's trying to get into that same race.
Yeah.
Currently, they're not letting him in for unknown reasons.
Makes
But-
absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
But he's going to line up the day before at BU in a mile.
He said
if he can't get in.
he'd rather do that because then he's going to run really fast in that mile, which I no doubt he will run like something crazy. And then he said it's going to be nice. He's going to sit and watch and laugh
just
at
be
people.
done.
He
Yeah.
should just do both.
Yeah, he could.
He should do both, but he
24 hours. New Balance is always a day meet. It's probably less than 24 hours, but
yeah,
Yes.
it's only 1,500.
yeah. I'm sure it'll be fine. But
Well, yeah, what I like about this race a lot, times, yes, like it'd be so nice to go run a fast time, but it seems like a very fun field for just racing.
Yeah, it'd be
And
fun
I
racing.
think that's
field.
going to be awesome for you
And
in
I haven't-
particular.
Yeah, I've been on an indoor track for a while, so I'm excited to pull out I'm going to call it a George Beamish. Hope to come through at the end, and
Sorry, a what?
to come through at the end.
Yeah, what's it called?
George Beamish
I don't think that's what it's called.
to come
He's
through at the end.
renaming it.
Have you renamed it?
Yeah, that's
What's
what I'm
going
naming
on?
it. What's it usually called?
Is it not called Textbook George anymore?
Oh, Textbook George. Yeah, I hope to do a textbook George.
You invented the fucking name.
I know.
He's invented too many names.
The reason why it's
too
just
hard.
so
we mustn't have talked about that in a long time.
yeah, but Textbook George, I'm gonna do a Textbook George. But the problem is, I got a fitting the night before for a wig fitting because I've been able to carefully detail
That's part one.
his hair, so I
Step
can
one.
put on the hair and then the
Oh,
headband.
wig fitting.
Yeah, wig.
I think you said a week fitting.
No, a wig. So I can put a wig so everyone thinks, oh, he's got George Beamish's hair. He's gonna like do a close. So I'm hoping I can manifest
Okay.
a Textbook George kick.
I don't know if you can. Well, I guess this doesn't mean that you can't do a textbook George, but I don't think you could go back like far enough in the race to emulate George's race strategy.
Yeah, I don't think I have the.
I don't know. Do I think you should? Because that's not. I don't think that's the best way.
Not
you
for
to
me
run.
the best way to run, but it would be funny if Dathan's just getting the shits when I'm at the back, and then
yeah, I'd be
I
like, "What's
kick
going
down
on
like
with
2 or
Ollie?"
3 people, and he's like, "What's
He's
it?"
he's just doing a textbook
I'm doing
George.
textbook George.
Should have known.
It's like, yeah, but George wins those races. Like, yeah, but I got pretty. I kicked down a couple people.
There was always a kid when you were like growing up that would always have the fastest last lap, but they were like in last place, and so then they'd get to say
They'd be like,
eighth
"Oh, I'm
place.
almost done." Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a very interesting range of Olympic medalist in the 10K Grant Fisher and new American record holder in the 600.
That is quite the
and
spectrum.
then all sorts of people in between.
And
So
Graham Blanks, like
yeah.
I don't know if that guy's raced
His last race was Oh, I guess he ran the 5K after NCAA cross, but
Yeah, but the last time he probably raced a mile, he was probably middle school.
wonder what his 1500 PR is.
I feel he actually would run quick though. If you
I think so.
just
I
if
think
you
he's
watch
just
the
fit
way
enough.
he's so fit, and you watch the way he closes races, it's like okay, this guy's fast.
I think if I'm sure there's a pacer. I'm sure.
Hope so.
So
sure.
it's going to be paced well, and if you're fit, you just hang on and then try and close
Just go
that
for
last couple laps. You run very, very quick.
And
so
you got Stewie in the race, so
Yeah.
if Stewie's in a race, you know that he'll be aggressive at the front. That's his MO
yeah.
True.
generally. So
I just
that's
hope
good to know.
I hope there's no falls.
yeah.
That's what I hope.
How many? Yeah, that was more people than I expected because I think that often the New Balance fields are smaller, but that sounded like a lot of like big names.
A lot of big names.
12.
12. So I guess that's
Maybe
a normal.
that's why Fiken is not currently
It's a normal
Maybe they
size,
don't-
but on an indoor track,
12 and a pacer.
12 is pretty big field, especially if everyone's like ready to go in shape.
Yeah.
But I do think that these indoor races, especially if the pacing is really quick, they do compared to outdoor races, they get way more strung out. I've noticed that. That's like at Milrose and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it gets
And
really
then you get strung out and you think, oh, I'm super far behind, but it's like 1 second or 2 seconds. You're like, oh, shit. It looks way
than
more.
It really is. So that'll be cool. And then, so there's the men's 3K as well, just going through the other men's races.
That one only has 10 entrants. Also, quite a random selection. Myers coming off a
Under 20 world
Under
record.
20,
very nice
yeah.
run, which we will get to.
Yeah, we'll talk more
We'll
about
chat
that.
some results from that. CPT, James West, Sam Tanner
CPT's always at
Tina?
this meet.
Sam Tanner's there.
coming out after his 355 mile in New Zealand. Prekel, Kessler, Gurley, CB Frey, OEC, Europe,
Shout out.
Cosgren.
Ooh.
Cozzy.
This is kind of just a lot of MTC.
Yeah, that's a new thing in the indoor circuit, really.
So also quite a random field.
That was the whole field.
That was
That's
it.
such a random assortment of guys to be lined up to race a 3K.
It's kind of cool, though. I kind of like that.
It is very
Like,
cool.
who are you betting on?
That's a small field, and it's a like New Balance and Milrose are the only two indoor golds in America,
Yeah.
which means a lot of money and a lot of points.
And they often try to pace it really quick. Well, normally they in the 3K they
Wait,
have.
was it last year? Didn't Gurman try and break the world record?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Normally they have at least one really good African. Like normally it's an Ethiopian, like Goma for example, and they just blow the race completely open and they just run solo and run really quick. Which this year doesn't really have that.
Yeah, that race was not entertaining last year.
It's been a weird race. Like this is the same race that do you remember Machal
Yes.
when he just
Did he
just-
run something crazy?
7:30?
7:30 flat.
Yeah. And he
Just-
was like,
And
he
that
was
was
like,
when Whiteman ran really quick in it
Yeah.
as well.
yeah, 30.
I think it's 37.
That was after he
Whiteman.
won Worlds, right? He ran, or was it
Yeah.
before?
I think it was the year he
Before.
won Worlds.
Is a year. Yeah.
Yeah, he ran 37. Like, yeah, the 3K is always really weird. I mean, when Joe and I did it back in the COVID year as well, it was such a weird race when it was a 2 mile and it's just
It was you, Justin Knight, and Joe Klecker.
that was like
That was a
There's
weird
like
race.
5 people in the race.
Yeah.
It was such a weird thing. So I don't know who the hell is going to win that. It really just depends who's in good shape and still there at the end. Because let's say it's not fast. It's like how can you bet against someone like Neil Gurley or even like Cosgren? I feel like they'll be real dangerous if it's
Yeah, if it's slow.
But if
I'm picking Hobbs.
oh yeah, I forgot about Hobbs.
I think he'll be.
He's
fit
going to be
enough.
hard to beat. Actually, when I was going through it, I forgot that he was in the race. Hobbs is going to be very hard to beat.
I'm so annoyed at Hobbs. He should be running the 1500. Hobbs, come on, bro.
They got a world record attempt in the mile a week later.
Mm.
Yeah, but it's a good warm up. Why don't you just get the 1500
do it
meter
twice?
world record and then go for the mile world record? It's easy.
Hey, what's the date of Milrose? I was having this
8th of Feb.
8th of Feb. Okay. So
Sounds
that's
right.
real sneaky that Jakob's doing his mile 1 week later.
1 week later.
So he knows which time he needs to break. Because
Yeah.
Robert
well
was going.
organised.
Yeah,
when we were
it
cooling
is
down
well.
after the workout yesterday, Robert goes, so if I broke the European record, would I still get all the bonuses even though somebody else might break it a week later? I was like, yes.
Definitely.
That's the way to do it.
He's like, okay, good. I just don't want to like. I was like, yeah, no, you'll get it still. He's like, okay, good. So I got to get it now. Otherwise, next
Go for
week
it.
it might be tough.
Go for it. So, well, those men's races will be sweet.
Yeah.
And then on the women's side, we have more representation.
Yes.
On the women's side, it's really cool because we do have a big squad that is doing both New Balance and Milrose. We have an even bigger squad at Milrose as per usual, but these guys get to go out and stay in Boston for the week. And on the women's side, we have Sinter is doing the 3K. She must be the only one from OAC. And then is the women's a mile?
The women's is a mile. Women's 3K. Should we have a little
We have
A little gander.
Guernsey, yeah.
Little gander at that. That's a bigger field. Parker Velby.
Yeah, makes sense.
Wait, is she New Balance?
Yep.
Yeah, she forgot that whole saga.
Whoever signed her at New
She was
Balance
like,
is like, I just fucking wasted all my
Just
money.
wasted all that money.
George
George's
doesn't
like,
even
wait,
remember.
what? Is she with Nike or New
We
Balance?
spent $1 million on her for nothing.
Geordie, you just made every New Balance guy just crumple up his papers going, you...
Malknat Wudu, Ethiopia. Not sure. Hannah Nuttall?
Hannah Nuttall, she's British.
Yeah, she is.
British girl.
Leah Meyer, German.
She's part of the. She's the one that
she on?
almost joined our team. That is part of the New Balance team.
Oh.
Yeah.
So not.
I don't know any of this. She's good. Steeplechaser.
Emily Mackey. Emily Mackay. That girl.
Very good.
Very good 1500 runner. There's a few people stepping up. Danny Jones. Jess Hull. Sick.
Oh wow.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Sarah Healy. Elise Craney. Melissa Courtney Bryant. Emma Coburn.
Damn, this is a...
Is that her first race back from surgery?
No, she had a
No.
race up here.
Or did she do a couple random ones right at the end of last
She
season?
did some at the end, and then she raced at CU a couple weeks ago.
Hmm. And Georgia Bell, Olympic medalist in the 1500.
Damn, Georgia Bell versus Jess Hull in the 3K would be
Wait,
kind of
yeah,
sick.
but 2 Olympic medalists in the 1500.
Yeah.
That field's actually very
Wait,
good.
was Cinta not on there?
Well, I thought it was first. And
Okay. I was like, wait,
Sorry.
Wait,
do I need to speak to an agent?
No, she is on
That's a fucking crazy field.
Yes, very good.
Mm.
In terms of
That's
just
better than the men's, for
heavy
sure.
hitters,
Big heavy hitters,
medalists. Oh, that's
That'll be an
crazy.
exciting race to watch. Probably one of the best races to watch.
Especially
Next to the men's 1500.
especially because of the dynamic of having you got two medalists from the Olympics in the 1500, but then you also have Parker Valby, who I think
we can probably count on her leading
Yeah.
some of
And
it.
she's with New Balance, so I'm sure she'll be there
confirmed.
running in the New Balance kit.
First race?
First
New
race in the New
Balance?
Balance kit.
Must be, right?
I don't think she signed until after the
Yeah.
season.
She was running in Nike in the Olympics, right?
Yeah. So that's an awesome field. Cinta's going to be ready to go.
Is she gonna sit and kick, or is she gonna try
She's
and
going to go in
squeeze
front
it?
of Parker Valby.
Honestly, if she went in front of Parker
Get in my way.
Valby, Parker would just be like,
Get
I
in
don't know
my
what's
way.
going on.
I think
If Cinta's fit enough to sit and kick in that race, she's in a good spot.
She's in a
Because
great
they're
spot.
just going to be hammering it from the start.
Yeah, I think a lot of those women will be very ready to go. I think Cinta's pretty ready to go. She just got back from a little trip to Italy, but then she was just straight back on the track looking real good last night. I think, for her, she's very fit. I don't think she wants to do anything too crazy early on, but I think also the sky's kind of the limit. So I think she'll just go into this race and just compete, and I know she'll have the Italian record on her mind.
What is the Italian record, just for reference?
I thought I knew it, and then it just slipped my mind. I thought it was 8:37, but
8:37.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah. Well,
Has she ever run a 3K?
She's run a couple outdoors in more tactical races. She hasn't run a quick
the indoor ones are
one,
always
apart
quick.
from maybe conference, maybe some in college. But as a pro, she has not yet done one. She was going to do one last year, but yeah, I think it'll be very exciting to see how she can do in that.
yeah.
But that's just going to be a sick race.
I think 3K is a
around.
good distance for. I mean, Cinta's a 1500 meter runner, but 3K. I'm not defending you, Hobbs, but 3K is a good distance to start off the season with, just to see how that strength's going, and obviously it's going to close pretty hard too, so it's still pretty quick.
Especially when a lot of those women, and also a lot, like Hobbs, for example, are then going to Milrose and racing the mile.
Yeah, it's good.
So a lot of the women that you probably said there are also doing the mile. I know.
Yeah.
Sure, Jess Hull, probably Georgia
George
George
Bell.
Bell is
I
doing it as
know
well. Yeah.
Elise Cranny.
Yep.
She's in the mile?
Cinta.
Yep.
Yeah. I think they're all doing
the
the mile.
best athletes in the world though do the 1500 to the 3K for Milrose, but
I forgot that's what you're doing.
I'm doing the opposite.
You've outsmarted them. They're
Yeah.
playing chess. You're playing
I've
checkers.
actually become dyslexic, and I'm looking at it, and I was like, Dathan, let's do this, and he's like, okay.
He's like, "Are you sure?
You
Like,
sure about this? I was like, yeah,
fine,
yeah,
I'll-
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so-
mean, I've already won a What to Make a Mile, you know? Josh is still trying to chase one, and Yara's going to put a stop to that.
I think Josh has won one. Has he not?
No.
He's never won one.
That was his media statement about going to the What to Make a Mile was, I really desperately want to win one, because he hasn't won one yet.
Wow.
Because I stopped him from winning one, and then Yared's won the past.
I thought
two.
he won the year, the one before that. Who won?
No, the one before that. Who won that? It wasn't Josh.
Well, I guess there would have been.
Well, there would have been a year
COVID.
break. You won the first year back.
So who won in 20?
Was it Chris O'Hare?
I think it was the one we did. I think it was Chris
I
O'Hare.
think it was Chris O'Hare that won the last one.
Okay, I think there's a distinct change in the
strategy.
pre-COVID and post-COVID. It used to be like a 350. You guys, it's like the race was running like probably 357 pace and then a big kick down, and now it's like, all right, let's run 350 pace for the gun.
And then kicked to 347.
Yeah.
It's been a distinct
It's been a bit of a difference. But yeah, and I think Robert is going for that European record indoor in the mile, and it's held by another OEC member. Treadmills has it. I think it's 3:48.83. It was Josh, but it was never ratified. I just checked online when I was getting treatment with Robert.
What are you going to do to ratify that?
Buy another Cybertruck, I don't know. But in general, it's pretty exciting because there'll be a lot of records broken at Milrose. And also the 3K, you got Grant Fish. I was better call him Fish Fingers. Grant Fisher.
We've moved on to Milrose now for anyone that's wondering.
Grant Fisher, Cole Hocker. So you got like the 10K, 1500 meter gold medalist.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be some pretty cool races there in Milrose, but I think the best way to do it is the 1500 to the 3K. I think that's the best way to do it. But some other people are doing it
with the field that just came out today or yesterday, whenever it was. Your 3K at Milrose is fucking bananas.
It is bananas. It is bananas in pajamas, and I will be in my pajamas sleeping, making sure I can do a Mike Smith.
You'll be going to sleep.
Go to sleep and then try and kick down that last bit. But yeah, I mean it's funny because thinking about before pre-COVID, indoors was always like fun racing, like seeing where it is. But now it's just like intense.
It's not fun anymore.
It's intense.
It's still super fun.
It's still super fun, but it's like people are breaking world records. People are breaking records.
The Milrose has caught up to all the friggin' Diamond League meet directors, where it's like, well, we're gonna assemble these fields, and I mean, everyone wants to break the records because they are not as good as they're a lot more attainable.
They're attainable, yeah.
Like 3:43 outdoors for the mile is one thing. Yared has run very close to that, but I think 3:47 indoors sounds a lot more doable.
Yeah, and I think Yared's going to be hunting that. I mean, he's been pretty close the past 2 years. So
yeah, and even if the record doesn't get broken, which I think it will get broken this year, the whole top 10 list pretty much is getting like rewritten.
Yeah,
just because these people didn't used to do this type of stuff.
People didn't used to try so hard.
Dude, when I had my breakout race at the Ocean Breeze, when I ran 3:32, if I ran a second quicker, I would have broken the world record.
Crazy.
That's crazy. Whereas these days, like people are averaging that in races, in tactical races. So it's crazy stuff. Crazy time to be alive.
Yeah. The only one we haven't done from the distance is
women's mile.
Women's mile, because we have Maya and Sage.
Sage is coming up from the 800 specialist to run a mile.
Quite a small field. Susan Adore, Dark Sky, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sadie Engelhard. Is she still in high school?
Yeah, I think so.
She's forgo her high school eligibility, but she's still in high school, from what I know.
Dorcas Ewoy.
Sage from Alabama, is it?
That's what I was thinking.
Am I getting that wrong?
Or just definitely Kenyan. Sage Herder-Klegger, Sinclair Johnson, Heather McLean, Maya Ramsden, and Nozomi. Tiny field.
That's a tiny field, and
Nozomi runs like 100 races in a season.
Yeah,
and she's like
she's still doing this one because she's New Balance, right?
She's New Balance, yeah.
So that makes sense.
She races. She's one of probably the biggest, like the most raced women's athlete, I think, surely, because I think most Diamond League she's in.
She does so much,
and she runs pretty well too.
She also tries. I think she's also one that's tried to like triple at World Champs / Olympics before. I don't know if she did it this past one, but I think the
first one
she has.
Doing the Stefan Hassan.
I know Maya is after the New Zealand indoor mile record.
Does she already hold that or no?
She holds the outdoor record, but the indoor is indoor is quite a lot faster.
What about the American record?
That's a joke that no one listening will.
No one will understand, but Maya is a Kiwi. We're just making fun of it, but she has a bit of a strong American accent. So we like to give her a little jab saying, "Oh, are you running for the US or running for New Zealand?"
It is kind of crazy to think that if she did potentially, she's also a US citizen. So it's not just the accent thing. She actually is a dual citizen. Yeah. It would be funny if she did run fast enough to break both of them.
Does she get both then?
I don't think
contract?
she does.
She should though. But
you kind of should, right? I don't know.
What do you think, George?
You should get all the passports that you hold. You should get all those records.
Yeah.
Something tells me you can't represent more than one country at a time.
Oh, shucks.
But you can break the records. Why can't you break the records?
What's the New Zealand mile record for the women?
I was really hoping you weren't going to ask me that.
I'm going to guess it's 4:22.
I think she ran 4:24 outdoors to break the outdoor record.
She ran 4:24 indoors last year.
See, that's why I want to say the indoor one is quite a lot faster than the outdoor one because it was Kim Smith.
Yeah. Because, Maya, I think, has the second or third fastest NCAA mile time ever behind Caitlin Tui.
She had a good race at the
Scorcher.
Dr. Colonel Sanders. Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Colonel Sanders, mate.
Scorcher
Also,
box.
4:24.1. So maybe she was very close.
Yeah.
Oh, so she'll be definitely going for that.
Fair enough. Well, hopefully we can watch it on, what's that? Hopefully it's not on Runner Space.
Peacock. Surely.
It's not Peacock?
It's got to be an
Oh, yeah,
NBC.
we're back to the good stuff,
The good stuff on...
aka the Discord stream.
Just check the Discord.
Oh, yeah. But Peacock's actually really cheap, so it's actually kind of good.
Is it really?
Also,
Peacock's like $5.
Peacock's
And then
also got some
sometimes-
great shows in it right now.
Sometimes I just got this like thing that came up on Peacock once, and it was like, do you want to just buy a year for $20 or something? No, it was $25 for a year.
That's how they
You
get
So it was
said-
like $2.50. I was like, absolutely.
That's
losing
bargain.
money if I don't.
Yeah, I'm just losing money. Well, they got great shows at Day of the Jackal. Day of the Jackal, shout out. Watch
What
that
is
show.
that one?
It's based on a book and an old film, but it's based on this assassin who is known as the Jackal, and it's played by Eddie Redmayne, and it's a really good show.
Cool.
Jason just watched it as well and gave it the 3 thumbs up.
I don't even know what that means.
I also don't know what that means.
But I recommend you guys watch Day of the Jackal. It's unreal.
I've been watching. I wanted to ask you this earlier, and I keep forgetting, George. So no time better than the present. Have you watched season 2 of Shrinking yet?
No, dude.
It's real good, but it's a very good continuation of the first season. But it's got freaking what's his name, Roy Keane, isn't
Roy
it?
Keane. He writes the show. He wrote the first season.
Oh, yeah.
He's
He
in
wrote
it.
the first season.
it's
He's a
so
very
funny
talented
because
writer.
I really want to watch it. It's high on my list, but I didn't watch a single thing the whole time I was in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Shogun. Have you watched
it's-
Shogun? Shogun's great.
Yeah, I watched the Shogun.
Shogun's freaking.
He just
great.
has
did you get around to watching Shrinking?
Cynthia and I have been banging out. I think we watched about 8 episodes yesterday.
Oh wait, really?
We're on
8?
episode 10, and there's 12 in season
Nice.
2.
Wait, the episode's the same similar length or?
Yeah, just like standard 30-ish minutes, I think.
Okay.
He just
yeah.
has a British accent as well. I thought he was going to do an American accent because it's set in, I think, LA, somewhere in
yeah.
California.
It is, yeah.
And he just has a British accent.
That show is just great. It's on Apple,
Amazing.
by the way, for our listeners. But that show is amazing.
Yeah.
It's so good.
But the show that Meg and I are watching right now is Lost, season 2. On season 2 of Lost,
Like
and
OG.
I forgot how good Lost is.
I never saw Lost.
I forgot
I've
how
just
good it is. And
heard so much about it
also,
my entire
now I know
life.
why everyone asks me why I watch Lost, Morgan and George, because it's such an Australian influence in it. Because they come from Sydney to Los Angeles. That's the flight when it crashes. So there's all these Aussies on it. There's all these backstories in Australia. And the Americans doing these like Australian accents. It's like
That's a bad thing.
teeth to a chalkboard.
Really?
It's shocking.
Where did they crash? Do
They
we
crashed
know?
on the island. I don't want to spoil it for our viewers.
Oh, that's like a big part of it.
yeah, they crashed on this
Like where
island.
they
It's
crashed.
mysterious, and it's been out for like 100 years, so I'm sure everyone knows how it goes.
And there are
but
like 1,000 episodes.
there's 6 seasons, 25 episodes per season, and the episodes go for about 43 to 45 minutes. Meg and
Really?
I
That's a
are
lot
up to
of
season
content.
2 right now, and we never got to finish Lord of the Rings. We got to finish that. Like I'm
Like
sorry.
the movies or Rings of Power?
Rings of Power. No, so she's not at that level yet. She's got to watch the extended edition, Fellowship of the Ring, 2 Towers. We're up to the Return of the King, and then we go to the Hobbits. We have to, which is I don't mind the Hobbits. They're alright films. Then we go to Rings of Power, season 1. Yeah, season 2. Very good.
Have you ever watched the old version of The Hobbit?
The animated one.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I've never seen it, but I want to watch it.
It's like if you were just wigging out. It's
Wigging out.
it's great to watch.
What if you're not wigging
There's a
out?
Lord of the Rings as well. If you're not wigging out, you'll find it quite entertaining as well.
Okay, good to know.
But it's great.
Sweet.
Yeah, so that's our little pop culture.
We need to save some good stuff for training camp.
Yeah, that's just true. We should start a something. Well, you've got something.
So
Is there something that comes out during training camp?
I got a Christmas present yesterday from my sister and brother-in-law, and it's the Red Rising board game. It's a board game that's inspired and made by the book series Red Rising,
So George, were you down to play?
which we've all
We've
you
all
read the first one.
I did. Yeah, I read the first one.
Ollie and
It
I
was
have
good.
read a bunch of them,
Up
and
to 6. The 7th is coming out this year, isn't it?
I don't think it's coming out this year, but it's still to come out. But it's one of those board games that you just look at it and you're like, okay, this is going to take some brain power to work out how to play this thing.
You've
That
read,
sounds like good training camp.
you've read the
Yeah,
first
so-
3, right?
I read, something like that.
I think you read the first 3 and then you stopped.
So it's going to be fun. So I'll bring that along. My only other pop culture thing that I've been doing, this isn't pop culture at all, that I've been doing lately, hobbies, is I've been trying to work on my geography skills. So I've been trying to learn all the countries in the world. Man, there's a lot of countries out there.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You need to play Wordle for that.
Yeah,
Do you play Wordle?
I essentially want to do this so I can just dominate world. That's essentially why I'm trying to do this. So I'm trying
do you
to
have
learn.
a map or something, like an atlas?
So I go on a website and I practice. So I'm starting with
Is it
Europe.
like Google Maps?
It's on GeoGuessr. It's Google Maps. No, because it gives you like a time. Like it times you and it gives you a percentage of like how many you get right. Like first try, I think. And I'm starting with Europe. I tried to do the Oceania region, and it's like
It's actually so hard.
there's so many islands, and you can't like they're so small as well. So it's like, you gotta. I don't know how you meant to learn them. I think you got to do some mnemonics or some shit.
some
But
crazy shit.
I'm on Europe right now, and there's all these countries in Europe that I didn't even know about.
Can we like face each other in GeoGuessr? Like, can you play people? Or
Well, I don't know. We could start at the same time and race each other. We could do like a race because this is something you're pretty good at, right?
I quite like geography.
I was going to say
Yeah.
George is the geography
But
master.
like also that sounds like a fun training.
But you know,
camp exercise.
Kai can do all 196 countries.
Really?
I don't think
by
not
on a
by
map.
not by on a map, but he can list them all. He's pretty crazy. He said he
what's
learned
wrong with them?
He learned it.
What's
during
wrong with
COVID,
him?
He said.
Geordie, you should have.
That's
you should have
So
it off
I
with
don't
Kai.
think if he did it on a map, he'd get them all right.
What was
but-
when we were over watching the college football national championships? You and Kai and a few other people were doing something for a 50-minute timer. Is that
he was doing other countries.
that's the country thing?
well
Because I was watching Robert do
Yeah.
it, and it was quite funny because he's like, "What the hell is going on?"
So
here?
that's on a website called Jetpunk, which we've been playing a lot lately because it has general knowledge trivia.
So that's general knowledge trivia as well as
But it also has the
map.
countries thing on this
Right.
website called Jetpunk.
cool.
That sounds fun.
It's really fun. The general, you guys would love the general, like the trivia ones are really fun as well. They're all good. It's a
I
good
started
time.
doing a bunch of trivia podcasts on long drives. Like me and Jenna would do it.
Oh wow, that
There's just,
sounds
like,
fun.
Podcasts that are trivia game,
Well,
and then
that's
we just
what-
like score
That's
it.
what used to be on the radio. You
And
know?
they're so good. They're so hard. But
yeah.
Do you have to pause it before getting the answers?
sometimes we pause it if either of us needs a little more time.
Yeah, because I wouldn't.
But
Probably
it's
need
pretty
more
easy
time.
to do on the car.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have such a fun. I think 10 days is not gonna be long enough.
I also think that
It's gonna be over like that, especially because in those 10 days we're gonna train like
I gotta-
20 million
I
times.
gotta-
everyone else is
proposal.
there for so much longer too.
I got a
Most people are
proposal.
already there.
Jealous.
I just talked to Luis this morning. He got there yesterday, and he's there until after he's there for over a month, I think.
That's a long time. I got a proposal for you boys. What we do is we sell a certain item that Dathan has acquired.
I don't know if is that public knowledge.
It's not public knowledge, but we sell an item that Dathan's
He also
acquired.
doesn't own it.
Well, we'll sell it, and then we'll use that for extra days at the training camp. What do you think,
I'm down.
George? Mission sell Dathan's
do it.
item.
You
Is
can
it
sell
go?
that pretty easily on Facebook.
I think
Marketplace.
we should just use Facebook, and we should also use somebody in the team that we can blame. So we might use
it's
like
not
one of the
being
freshmen.
Maybe we can like rent it out just to get some money initially. Like on one of the days when it's not being used,
Mm.
we can rent it out.
Training camp pods are going to be so fun.
There's only gonna be one of them.
Yeah,
Seriously?
there's only one.
We
Unless we
do-
want to like
We get there on a Wednesday. You're right.
yeah,
You could just record every day and just 10 days.
and just bank it out.
Yeah, it's just real short.
Every episode
especially
will
compared
actually
to-
just be a daily,
yeah,
Daily
just-
podcast.
just daily podcast.
just daily vlogging.
What do you guys do today?
Which I might do.
Not much.
But isn't it crazy? Because Florida felt like it was forever. I
How-
feel like we recorded 20 podcasts.
How
there.
long were we in Florida for?
Over a month, surely.
That's why we got such a short one this time, because the last one was so long and it went so badly.
Dathan wanted to go longer, but Scottsdale is insanely expensive this time of
Yeah.
year as well. And I think where we're staying is a pretty amazing place.
And also with the size of our team, we have to rent out like 27 houses now.
yeah, there's a lot of people. House each.
One house each.
One house each.
That's how
Like
we do
Sintra and Morgan have their own houses and they're not even close.
it. They've separated us.
Yeah.
That's happened.
But it's good for doubles. You can just go and,
We can all meet in the middle.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, hey guys, and then you also run back home
Yeah.
because you're at your halfway point already.
yeah.
I'm just excited. I just love Arizona. I love Phoenix. I love the weather, the nature, the
Flagstaff.
cacti. Didn't mention Flagstaff.
No, but I
do love
I
Flagstaff,
know
though.
you were about to, so I just
might
got in there.
drive
quick.
down with Tyson rather than fly just so I can go through Flagstaff.
I haven't been to Flagstaff yet, so maybe I need to do that, George. Would you
It's
take
only
me?
2 hours
I'm
away.
going.
You on a flag?
Definitely.
Can I come with you? Are you gonna see Michael? Can I hang out and see? Can I just sit there and watch you and Michael have a chat?
I probably should see him, shouldn't I?
I mean, Michael won't even know it's me. He'd just be like, "Oh, what's Olin doing here?" Thought you're supposed to be out and training with NAZ Elite. Yeah. But I know Michael listens to this podcast and he gets really excited when we mention that little joke that we have, which is definitely a joke and not
I
actually
wonder
real.
if any of the NAU people do actually listen to this podcast. I know like at least one does, but like
At least one
general,
does.
I want to because we mentioned them so much. We mentioned their coach so much.
He's not their coach for much longer though.
It's true.
Do you know what we're just missing in Phoenix though? Like that happens.
Is it the waste management?
Yeah, the Waste Management Open is the same weekend as Milrose in the Super Bowl, I think.
What a letdown.
What's waste management?
It's like the coolest
the
golf
PGA.
tournament. It's the
PGA
People's
Tour event.
Championship.
Oh.
Isn't that what they call it? The
Probably.
People's It's because it's like, you know how golf is a very proper sport. I think
Gentlemen only.
Yeah, I think it's the biggest event that isn't. They're not as big on all these gentlemen. It's a lot more casual. I think the players and the fans have a lot more interaction.
Oh, that sounds fun.
I think it's a lot of fun.
They drink a lot. That's basically what it boils down to. There's a hole, I think it's like the 17th, par 3 or something. And you should just look on YouTube, like compilations of like hole 17 at Waste Management. If someone gets a hole in one, the stands just
Grade the beer.
absolutely. They start throwing beer cans onto
Oh,
the
dude, I love
greens.
this.
It's absolutely, it's diabolical.
That sounds
So if
like
you
up
don't
my
want to
alley.
go to Milrose, we could go there instead.
Yeah. Oh, Dathan, I broke my coccyx again. Might have
Got to go to
stay.
Phoenix and see
Might
John
just-
Ball.
Yep, see John Ball,
Genius
and then go up
mind.
to Flagstaff and hang out with Michael Smith and Cornbread. What's his name?
Cornbread.
That's quite good actually.
Cornbread, or was it Cornfield? Cornfield.
Coach Cornbread.
Coach Cornbread.
Cornbread's a good name. I like that. But yeah, shall we get into this Scorcher bucket Dr. Sanders invite?
The Colonel Sanders bucket?
I swear it hasn't always been called the Scorcher.
That's definitely new.
No, it's been called the Dr. Colonel Sanders Invitational.
That's definitely new. I think the best place for us to start is with the Under Armour uniforms. Specifically
Yeah.
Adam Fogg.
So
Oh God.
let's just say Adam.
It's the speed
Nice, bro.
suits.
Nice.
I think it's just the speed suits because I think their tights were black and I didn't actually see any shorts.
But I saw Wayne wearing the colorway, the new Under Armour colorway.
But she's
And
a
it
different,
wasn't-
she's
a different
team.
I know it's a different team,
They-
but the
they always do
colorway
that.
was different. So then I was expecting Fogg to have the same colorway, but then yep, you're right. I realized he was on a different team. But that colorway for a speed suit was a very interesting, bold choice.
It's what color is it? It's gray and like
White, pretty much.
and the bottom is gray.
It looks like they took last year's uniforms because Baltimore is like they've always been grey black, and they just left.
Also yellow. Like normally they focus more on like the black and yellow.
They've had
They just left last year's one like in a bucket of bleach for like the last 9
That's it out in the
months.
sun.
They just left them out in the sun and then just chucked them back on.
No, what they've done is they've literally
this
just turned them
season.
inside out and then they've just put them back on and just been like, this is the new uniform, guys. You can just head
Welcome
on.
to 2025.
Welcome to 2025. Adam, here's your uniform. It's like, this is the same uniform, but if you turn it inside out.
Yeah.
And that's what-
I can't remember the last time I saw a worse uniform.
And
than
it's,
that.
and what we're really referring to for people that haven't seen it is it's very revealing.
Yeah. And the
Just
It's
photo,
not
photos.
even. It's not, I mean that is a big issue.
the photo
but-
I saw was quite revealing, and I imagine Fogg Dog doesn't give an absolute rat's ass about it, but I imagine like that is not going to be worn by a lot of people. Then that speed suit, like they're going to probably wear.
The tights.
The
Like
tights
black
and the-
tights. Yeah.
and the
maybe
top.
maybe they did on purpose though, just to get attention. 'Cause
I mean, I got a good
Wisconsin has been known to wear light grey.
white.
White. Don't you guys have like light grey shorts sometimes?
No, we wear
no,
white.
white. Yeah,
Just
white,
white.
red, and
Yeah.
black. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something I've
We
seen
had
in
white
light grey
shorts that
before.
were a bit questionable.
Yeah, yeah. Particularly if you like
Yeah.
had been going to the bathroom a lot.
Yeah. Gray.
Just-
I'm trying to think of gray. There's some random grays from Texas. I think sometimes has gray.
Texas.
stuff. I don't know.
OSU,
Do they? I don't know.
Ohio State University.
Ohio
sometimes.
State.
Yeah, they probably have
They
done a
do,
light grey
you're right.
before.
Sorry, the Ohio State University.
Put some respect on
Put some
it.
respect on it.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate colorway.
So
Okay, let me give you guys a question.
Wait
You're
till you
gonna
guys see
run.
our colour.
You're gonna run either the greatest race of your career or the worst race of your career, but you have to wear that speed suit. Are you wearing it?
Wait, break that down again.
So you're
What's
either
the
gonna
question
have
here?
What do
the
you mean?
question
So
is
there's you're telling us there's a 50-50 chance.
50 chance that you either have the worst race of your career or the best race of your career, like the craziest race ever. But you have to wear that speed suit to have the chance to run that best 50%. Are you doing it?
What's the alternative?
You just have an average race
And you wear a good.
And you look good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm taking that chance. If every time I lined up, I had a 50-50 chance of having the best race of my life. You're gonna have a pretty good career.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because every 2 races,
Whoa.
you're gonna one potentially.
No, but it's 50-50 every time. So you could just get on a run of
Yeah, it's like heads or tails.
of the worst race of your
I'm
career.
taking that.
You taking that, Geordie?
And I have to wear that.
Yep.
That
You have to wear that.
exact one?
You have to wear that speed suit. Yeah.
You'll be so famous. Wouldn't that be from a fan standpoint? Wouldn't that be so exciting to watch someone who you knew they were either going to have the best race or the worst race, and there's no in between?
Yeah, that
You
would
would
be.
always want to
yeah.
watch it. It's like gambling.
Yeah.
It's pretty much
You would gamble on it for
Literally.
sure.
Yeah, I'll take that on.
I think Mario would like that speed suit.
Don't even get us started. The Spanish
The
Rockets.
Spanish rocket. But I mean, Foggy had a good race. 353.
He did.
Good start to the
Looking
year.
good.
Behind
He was third place, was he? Third.
Mhm.
yeah.
Behind, Cam Myers won the race, 353, under 20 world record, breaking German Fernandez's world record from 2009. I don't know if you know who, Ollie, do you know who German Fernandez is?
I know he was a phenom.
Yeah. So in our generation, like especially if you were like into the high school, like the US high school slash college scene when we were younger, he was the biggest fucking thing ever. He had this amazing high school, and then as a true freshman in college, he ran 355, just destroyed everyone, and broke the world record. Pretty epic that his world record has stood until now.
That is
Cam
crazy.
Myers broke it as in seemingly a very nonchalantly. I don't even know if he knew that the world record existed. That wasn't
been
even
breaking
on
so
main-
many of them. He's like, I don't know what's going on.
He's transcended. Like I didn't even think, like when I was thinking about him running, I didn't even think like that's something that like, oh, that's a big deal. And it obviously is a very big deal, but he's just so good that it's so casual.
Well, for him, like he ran 350 was his best mile last year, and like people don't talk. I mean, people do talk about it, but like 350 for
and he was probably under 18.
he was 17.
Was he, or is he
17 or 18. Still around that age, insane. 350.
Was that?
When I was 17 or 18, I couldn't like put my pants on without falling over.
Did he break the outdoor? Is the outdoor mile record crazy for the
I think
juniors?
he
Actually,
I think he did break it because Jakob
so.
had it.
You think so?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised
I
if there was
think-
a
I actually don't know.
Kenyan or an
Kenyan or Ethiopian
that
might
has
have it
run
from like world.
crazy as a junior.
Yeah, it was
as well. That'd be the thing.
But-
It definitely said indoor world record. No.
Yeah, it was the indoor one, which is 353. Amazing race. He looked like he was just out there putting on a clinic.
He looked very comfortable.
Very relaxed.
He's
but
so
his
strong.
style has always been like that. Have you noticed that when he's running hard or slow, it's just the
Strong.
same.
Especially because it was very evenly paced. Like it wasn't a big last lap.
No, it was
necessarily.
the same.
Not afraid to lead.
Not afraid to lead. Also, new buzz cut. Love it.
Yeah.
Love the new buzz.
Does look good.
He looks older with it, I think, personally, but he's still baby faced.
Do you think he's
And-
got a world record bonus
That's
For
what I
like-
was going to better ask.
Surely.
for like a junior world
I
record?
hope so.
Surely in
It's
his
a
Nike
pretty big
contract there's
It's like $1
something.
million.
Yeah, probably $1 billion.
I would say $1 billion New Zealand dollars, which is about 500,000 maybe.
It's just pretty good still.
This is pretty good. Yeah, you could buy
You
it.
just can only spend it in New Zealand.
Can only which okay,
That's
then
the
it's pretty
big-
worthless.
that's the biggest barrier. You just can only
You just
go-
buy a lot
go
of
to New
Whitakers.
Zealand
You buy a
first.
lot of Whitaker bars. That's it.
Yeah.
I hope there's a bonus for that.
He should have it. He should have a bonus, surely, because
He's
they
He's got a
very well
useless
looked after.
agent if he doesn't.
I mean, JT surely put that in because he got that contract when he was 16.
How many
So-
world records does Cam have?
3.
Too many.
Must
he
do.
must have a bunch
Must
of
he
have
has,
some
I
others.
think he has a 3K one. I think he has a 1500 one, a mile one.
I don't know.
Now he has 4 maybe. Either way,
But the thing is, Jakob ran so quick. What was this? Must be on.
yeah, but
very
Cam's
similar level
seconds
to Jakob.
ahead of Jakob. In
Yes.
some sort of I saw something on social media. I don't know how factual it actually is, but they had the two next to each other,
comparison.
comparisons on age and how quick they're running, and Cam's a couple seconds ahead. So
Really?
yeah, so
Wow.
Jingy's gonna have to
Get a time machine and go
get
back and run
Philippa to
faster.
really start doing that lactate threshold and start proving that their genes are superior and when it comes to running quick when you're young. But
I'm gonna
Pretty
say
awesome.
there's a 100% chance that world record gets broken next week.
oh, at Melrose,
Yeah,
yeah, I know. Well,
by him.
what if he wins it and runs the world record? Then he has both. Can you imagine?
That'd be pretty baller.
He has
Be
the
very
world
fast
record
race.
and the junior record.
Yeah, but no, he's looking amazing. It's cool to see him over here in the US doing 3 weeks of racing. It's a good way to do it, I think.
He is running Wanamaker, right? Because you're
He's
right.
in-
That is
he's
going to
in
be
the
three.
mile.
That is going to be three in a row.
I
Yeah.
believe so.
Yeah,
I
sorry,
think
I
it's
meant
his
2
win.
weeks from now.
Yeah. So that'll be sweet. I think on the women's side, it was cool to see Caitlin Toohey getting a dub after a bit of struggles last year, coming back from some injury stuff since turning pro. Always good to see her back on top. I don't know how, do you guys think, because they still do the golden ticket idea where the winner from this past meet, Dr. Sanders, automatically gets a start at the Milrose Wanamaker Mile, or the, what's the women's one called?
Same, I think.
They both want to make a
I think
mile.
they both want
I
to
think
make
they
it.
are now.
Oh, okay. But what happens if, so Caitlin Toohey, I think, is running the 3K at Milrose. Do you think that they give it to the second place, or they just say it doesn't exist anymore?
I think they did when Drew Hunter won Doc Sanders and he was already in something. Didn't they give it to Eric Holt or something?
I can't remember.
Or am I
Cool.
making that up?
I think Eric Holt got that spot outright, but I'm not sure. I mean, I would say they would, because they would need to put a wild card in there, surely, if they're advertising it.
Yeah.
I think you should have to win.
So if you don't win, you don't get it.
Yeah.
If you win, you get it, but then you don't have to. If you don't use it, then it just
Yeah.
disappears.
Obviously, they neither of them needed it, but I don't think the guy who got second.
But it's always exciting to have the wild card person in the race.
Yeah,
To have someone that you knew got in from doing well in a race 2 weeks before.
that's
That is
that's the
exciting.
appealing thing of having that wild
And they
card.
often
Who
run
was
quite
who
well.
was second to Caitlin?
Jeez, you're asking a great question. Which
And
I
who was
should know,
second
'cause I
to
watched the
Cam?
race, and it was actually
Festus
pretty
Legat
close.
was second in the men's.
It was like a close race, and Caitlin Toohey won as well. And I just watched it, but my brain doesn't remember.
Balka Valby?
Yeah, I think it was.
Was she in the New Balance kit or not? I can't.
Who knows?
Who knows?
We'll
But
never know, and there's no way of finding out. That's the crazy.
yeah, I was gonna say we probably can't find out.
It's a
But
shame there's no results or something
if
like that.
we'll find out, I guess, if there is a wild card in there, George. If there isn't, then we'll know that answer, that they don't give it to a person unless you win it and you don't have a spot, or we'll find out who got second
Stay
at
tuned.
the Colonel Sanders
Stay tuned.
backyard bucket
KFC
KFC
champs.
KFC runoff.
Speaking of young guns, can we give a shout out to this young Kiwi by the name of Sam Ruthe? Sam Ruthe, 15 years old, 401 outdoors.
Ruthless, absolutely ruthless, baby. He was ruthless.
401 outdoors, that means he's probably running about 358 indoors.
That's what I'm saying,
bro. So you just say he's broken 4 at 15.
I'd say that's probably about right. Dude, what's happening in New Zealand, bro? They're starting to get good runners.
See, that's what I
Inspired a generation.
Yeah, inspired generation, George.
He
You
didn't
have
know-
inspired a
He didn't know
generation.
that running existed until
Yeah.
George won World Indoors
When
last
they
year.
realized that you could actually, New Zealanders could actually be good at running, they're like, oh damn.
Helps
Actually,
that-
well, I
that
forgot
kid-
about Nick Willis, but
that kid trains with Sam Tanner, so that probably helps.
that probably helps. I forgot about Nick Willis too. Nick Willis was pretty good back in the day. But Geordie, you actually did inspire a generation of runners.
Yeah, so he was in the race where Sam Tanner ran 3:55, and he was 4th or 5th or something. Dude,
It's a good race to have.
15 is insane.
That is insane.
Running 355 in Australia and New Zealand is
Insane.
in just like a
That's like
kinda
a
normal
5-second
race.
conversion.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a 5-second conversion in my book. But the insane thing is, like, I mean, maybe it's just, I don't know what it is, but all these young kids are running super fast. Like when I was 15, what was your mile when you were 15, Morgan?
I started running
Asterisks.
when I was 15.
I think I started running when I
I'm
was
trying to
16.
think what my 1500 was. It was probably, I probably would have had a 420 mile. Something
420.
of, in that.
And now kids are running 401. Like, how could we compete back then?
It is crazy.
It's
to think
crazy.
about.
Kids are running so fast, so young. It's cool. It's definitely really cool. But man, it makes me scared if I was going back in time. And
What's crazy is if he has, I just don't imagine he will have another crack at it this season in New Zealand, just unless he went to Australia or something. There just isn't really another situation
Mhm.
where he could break 4.
Murray Plant,
Is that it is a mile, isn't it?
Murray Plant.
Ooh.
And
He's
I-
got it.
and
I'm
I'm-
sure he's
actually
racing
should
that.
do it.
I'm sure
If
he's racing
if
that.
Ruthless is listening, I'm running Murray Plant. We'll
I'll
get
pace
you.
you.
We'll get you in. We'll get another opportunity.
If he broke 4, he would be younger than
Youngest of all time.
youngest ever to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, epic.
Younger than Jingy.
Unless he turns 16 in the next couple
And
of months.
Jingy did it at pre, I think,
He
didn't he?
did, yeah.
So he
how
did a
how
big
was
meet.
Alan Webb when he ran something insane? He was
Well, Alan was probably, when he did his one, crazy one, he was probably 17 or 18.
okay, so
He was in his
still
last year of high school.
Yeah.
But he also ran 3:53.
Yeah, that's insane.
He
The
did
two
just break
youngest are
4.
Jingy and Cam Myers, so that's pretty good company.
That's good company to be in.
So,
100%.
so
I
you
don't
have
want to put too much pressure on him to actually do it.
Yeah.
It's all
So-
good if it doesn't happen.
Okay. So Jingy was younger than, like Cam Myers was older than Jingy when he broke 4.
Yeah, the big headline was Cam Myers is become second youngest person ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like 8 days or something. It was really close.
Jeez. Crazy.
It's kind of it's a silly stat, but
I don't like that stat. It's like you're younger than fucking most people in college when they get that shot at BU on the short track. So
Yeah.
it'd be interesting.
So moving on to Kermit the Josh, which we already talked about him last week, just briefly at the end. We just heard before the pod he's got a new YouTube video coming out
New episode.
this week. Apparently, is it?
Yeah, apparently I think it's this week. He did one of those classic YouTuber things. Morgan knows.
Yeah, I probably do it all the time.
Like the David Dobrik thing where you have the camera next to your side of your face and you're like talking to them like you're having a conversation with them
Yeah,
in
I
your
actually don't
Cybertruck.
know. Wait, was
I
this
think-
on Instagram?
Yeah, and the camera's here where Geordie's standing, and Geordie's like, the camera's like looking side onto his face when he's driving,
I got to see what you're talking about.
and he's like talking to it, and it looks like what most YouTubers do, I think.
Morg
do I do it?
Isn't
Well, Morg
does
has
in
it
the car.
facing him at the front because he's
Uh.
got some class, but
This is in this video.
Is it just a breakdown of his contract? Just every clause in the contract.
Is this the right video? Or was it? Or is it on his story? Oh, there it
Oh,
is.
that one.
that one. That's
Okay,
one.
this is just someone filming him.
But that's what I'm saying. That's like the standard YouTube, I think, kind of setup. But
Time trial today. Get our
Time
markers
trial
down.
today.
See where we need to improve.
Hell yeah, I'm hyped. Time trial. That's gonna be exciting. Everyone after the last video was like, "Bro, enough of your Cybertruck. Let's see some actual running content."
Wait.
So him doing a time trial is gonna be very entertaining.
Wait,
compared
so
to the last
the
one.
first episode wasn't him running. It was just a
The
Cybertruck
first
video?
episode was.
Who's he employed to do it?
That's a great question. The first episode was so bad that there was a video that came out shortly after on YouTube that got a lot of views. That was like everything wrong with Josh Kerr's
Like a
YouTube
breakdown?
video. There was a breakdown of how bad it was. That's how bad it was.
You should give him a call and say, "Hey man, like I can help
But
you
also
out here."
that guy just gave him like free like good tips as well. So he probably appreciated getting that video. But it just did not make. I don't know if we already talked about this on the podcast, but it just did not make him look very good. It just
Yeah, what?
was as a person.
Oh.
Like, he didn't seem very personable.
Does he go for that though?
Well,
He's always kind of gone for the abrasive.
but the thing is, there's a lot of people on YouTube who are making content as athletes that are super arrogant, and they're very likable still. You know, if that makes sense.
Mm.
Like there is a way to do it that's correct, and I think the thing was people. If you see Josh Kerr making a YouTube video, like and this is like essentially what the guy said in the video, so there's not really original thoughts necessarily, but it's like you want to see the behind the scenes of like training and stuff, and like some more humanizing things. And you definitely want to see the training that he's doing, because that's going to be interesting and exciting. He trains, like to see what he does is like one of the best athletes in the world. Interesting stuff. But the video was more a compilation of him. It was like him going to, I think, the Grand Slam stuff. Like it was like him doing like media stuff, going to like this fancy dinner in Malibu.
Not
Him-
very relatable.
Him showing off his Cybertruck, and then it was just like, he was like, oh wow, this guy, yeah, where's the personality? Which
Mm.
obviously he has a lot of personality, but it just didn't come
conveyed
through.
well.
So, but it's his
Yeah.
first video. I'm sure they'll get way better, and they'll be really good. I'm sure.
I want to start a YouTube show, and
You
it's
should.
just a live stream of Gus.
You've been talking about this for years.
Yeah, well-
Literally years.
Well, the problem is I can't get the pen to paper. Like
He's too hard
wanna
to tie down.
He's too hard to tie down.
He's always
I wanna
up and
get the
about.
sponsorships.
He's just always busy.
Like Chewy,
His rates are
Chewy's
just too
stepping
high.
in. Chewy's stepping in to try and sponsor it, but then Gus said no to Chewy, and then now we got to deal with other sponsorships. But
Other
Gus's
contracts.
minimum is like 10 mil or something.
yeah,
so.
something crazy like that because he's got too much tied up with the coffee club. But I mean, it's funny, Morgan, you mentioned that because since TikTok almost got taken away from us 400 years ago, I was like starting to try and like work my reel algorithm better because I had been off Instagram Reels for a while.
What does that mean? Trying to work
Well,
my algorithm?
we
Like click on certain links to like when you know how you have the
Yeah.
Discover feed and then there maybe like one where it's like got the dark fantasy ones, like choose which house you would want to reside in after a big quest. I was trying to work on those ones because I love those ones.
Okay, I get it.
Anyway,
Or you're just talking into it, like
Just talking
telling
to the phone, yeah.
telling it what you want to see.
yeah. But then I kept seeing all these other high school guys doing content, like running content, and then I started going down that loophole, and it was pretty incredible to see how many of them were there.
There's a lot of people.
Like
that
there
do
was
running
this,
content.
there was one that I was watching.
Some people do all content now. It's
And
crazy.
this guy, he's got a very nice voice, like similar to you, Morgs. When you got a nice
I
voice,
don't
he
have a
doesn't.
nice voice,
He doesn't
but thank you.
overlap. He doesn't overlap of talking to like about his day and about running and like what's important to be a good runner. But every video is him just making pour over.
Yeah.
Like every video.
Oh, you're talking about
he runs for
guy.
Texas.
That does sound
He doesn't
familiar.
run for Texas. He runs for a smaller school.
Oh,
You're talking about his series on Instagram was called The Daily Mile.
yeah, that's it. I was watching that.
Wasn't he a 10-man intern or something?
Brooke. Fuck.
Brock.
Brock.
I was watching
Sorry,
his,
Brock.
and he was just making pour over every day, like every
Yeah.
start of the video, and it was
He was amazing.
funny because I was like, the first two ones I watched, I was like, he's kind of annoying. He's only showing the same pour over. But then after watching multiple of them, I
Yeah,
kind of
give me more
enjoy
pour
seeing
over.
him doing pour over.
Give me that pour
And then I'm thinking, oh, that's what it's all about.
Routine.
The routine. It's really nice to watch. And then he would talk about like him doing time trials and him having easy days. And
No, he did a great job.
watching him do that and then watching multiple other athletes do them, it's funny to see.
And then watching Josh.
Well, that's the thing. It's funny to see somebody who probably is at the highest end of the sport, but they're not as easy to watch
It's
as
'cause
others.
it was because the biggest difference is you could tell Josh was just like it was like branded stuff pretty much. It was like he's paid someone to do
It's-
it, or the brand has paid someone to
It's
do
not
it.
authentic.
Whereas and he wasn't like doing him himself.
Yeah, it's not authentic.
Which makes a big difference.
Do you think that's in his contract? His new contract? He has to put out, because now he's an ambassador type deal. He has to put out a YouTube video once a month for the next 100 years.
Yeah, that's probably what they make him do.
Till 2034.
That's the thing. I
mean,
I'm excited to see ambassador version of Josh Kerr. Like when he makes that transition, what does that look like?
The thing is though, his whole
what do you mean?
image,
That transition was like 2 years ago.
his whole image and branding though. Do you think? I don't know who said this. Maybe it was you, Morgs, but
I'll give myself credit. I
maybe
remember
Morgs
saying
said
this
this,
last week
but
on the pod
I think you did say this
at the very end.
at the very end about Josh Kerr. Does
A
he
lack of
really?
alignment, yeah.
Does he really align with Brooks? The run happy kind of thing, like. We talked about it because I remember now. Yes, we did talk about it because Marco Abrop. We're thinking he's more of a Brooks vibe than Josh is the Nike. Maybe Brooks is making a turn. Maybe this is the big signing. Is like Brooks. We're not about.
What's their new slogan?
It's not run happy anymore. It's run over people with a Cybertruck.
Cyber run.
Cyber
Run cyber.
Run the red light on Cybertruck. I don't know.
The whole Cybertruck thing was just so like tone deaf. It was like, bro, people did not think the Cybertruck is that cool of a purchase, man.
It looks like the Warthog from Halo.
Yeah,
That's what it looks like, which is cool.
That's cool.
That's cool, actually. I'm going to take that back. But it is interesting to hear him make that joke when
Yeah.
a lot of athletes who are runners really aren't about that vibe of luxury.
The other thing
cars.
is you can do it in the right way. It just wasn't done.
I mean,
quite the right way.
that's true.
So whatever. So yeah, wait. He's racing the Melrose Mile.
He's racing.
said
He
before?
wants that 1 Make a Mile. Yeah.
He wants that. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah.
when we'll
So
see
he's
him.
racing that. I'd love to see him race Jingy again at some point indoors, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
Probably not indoors.
They're not going to be
Unless he
slamming
goes to
together.
Europeans.
Unless they both go to Europeans and or
Okay.
Worlds.
They don't-
I know Josh hasn't done Europeans though ever. Has he ever done Europeans?
Maybe not.
I don't think he's ever done it.
He does have his gold medal from World Indoors, though. I think he'll be pretty content with that. I don't think he's going to China. I don't think he's going back to China.
Yeah.
I have a feeling he's not going to China.
I know.
You think Jingy's going to China?
Jingy is
Yeah.
going to try. Yeah, he mentioned it.
He said when I saw him, maybe he said maybe China. He said definitely Europeans, maybe China.
In his post he
When I
talks about
when I texted him last night, he told me maybe China.
he texted me asking for Geordie's number, and I said no. You're talking to me, not George.
I have his number in my phone just from the podcast thing, and I forget it, and then sometimes I see it, I'm like, I could just FaceTime you out there right now.
Why don't? Yeah, he'd love to hear from you. I bet.
Just FaceTime him right now.
I did DM him
I
more on
wonder if he
Instagram.
saved your contact or if he
Definitely
just.
not. I mean, he did. I don't think he did. I mean, I'll call him just to ask him that.
Do you reckon he's ever watched an episode after his interview thinking like, what is this about? And then he's just like, oh, this is just a PR thing.
Every week we should just try FaceTime on the
until we get blocked.
Day 20
until we get blocked.
Day 20 of FaceTime.
He would fucking hate us. He would hate us. I told you the story about.
We need to know if he's going to China or not.
The funniest thing is though, if he did answer, he's just on the treadmill. It's like, oh, sorry, bro.
That would be sick.
Infinite threshold.
I can't tell with him if he's like how into running he is in terms of.
He's into motorsports. He loves motorsports.
Yeah. Like I don't know if he's the type of guy. I think he's pretty aware of what other people are doing, and I know Henrik is super into it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Jakob is the type of guy that would actually like listen to a running podcast. I don't think he would.
I think he would be interested in other stuff, surely, if his life's controlled by it. But I mean, yeah, Josh bought a Cybertruck. Jakob's raising a young gal. So
they both got a lot going on.
Yeah, they both got babies to look after.
Exactly. Well, is there any one other story maybe before we start to wind down is the announcement of Drew Hunter to ASICS, which just happened.
I love it.
2 weeks ago we talked about Tin Man and we said, oh yeah, we can't really talk about what's going on with them because we don't know. But Drew has just come out, signed with ASICS. Very good for him.
Also good for ASICS. I was talking to Max upstairs. There's only like one other athlete that's with ASICS, which is Rachel MacArthur. Other US-based athletes, I don't think there's many ASICS athletes out there.
I'm trying to think now.
I think there's Drew and Rachel the only two.
There's no road runners. There's got to be some road people.
There might be road people, but on the track,
yeah,
I don't
a bunch
think
of road, like Sarah Hall, Emma Bates.
Yeah,
right.
But on the
not
track
track.
specifically, not really. So it's good to see them branching into the US.
they always would have their like one big sprinter or jumper.
Yeah, because they had Freddie,
which was Fred,
and then he said,
"Until
out of here."
Yeah, things went
downhill. Yeah, no, it's great to see Drew. I mean, Drew's contract was legendary when he signed it with Adidas, and it's good to see him continuing his journey.
That's the end of an era right there.
Yeah.
It really is. It really is. The big high school Adidas contract.
We tried signing Drew, but we just couldn't.
Couldn't afford him.
Couldn't get the numbers.
Couldn't afford him. Couldn't make the numbers work. But it'll be interesting is what happens with him and his training setup now, which we don't actually really know exactly what's going to happen with the training setup. But I think he's going to. I mean, stuff will stay normal, like the same as it was in this past years, as much as possible for him. I think being coached by his parents.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can still have the rest of the gang around as training partners as well. We'll see.
Did he mention how long the contract's for?
I think it was like 100.
100 years? So similar to Josh?
Yeah.
Same as Josh's.
Yeah.
Ambassador.
The ambassador role?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still don't get with Josh. Sorry, back to Josh. Like, how do you have a contract that switches from like pro athlete to ambassador? Is it like if you don't run fast enough, like 1 year you get demoted to ambassador? Because you would have to imagine the ambassador just like a big part of that means like a lot less money, right?
It probably just like maybe it's not even a switch. It's just like at the bottom. It's just like there's a guarantee that when you want to finish running, we will continue to support you as ambassador.
But do you think the contract that he just signed for 10 years is the same amount of money every year?
No.
Regardless of whether he's running or not?
Surely it can't be.
No. I see that if Brooks did that, they are financially as dumb as a doorknob.
Irresponsible.
It is irresponsible because, yes, Josh is going to have a lasting effect on Brooks for generations. However, if you want to get another Josh Kerr in the next 5 years, that money needs to go somewhere. And if you're paying him the same,
Josh Kerr has to go to the new one.
Yeah, the new Josh Kerr, the new and improved one that they model and they make in the laboratory, and then they'll send him out. But I don't see them paying him the same money he would be paying.
Well, he's just not nearly as valuable.
Yeah, exactly. So he's probably getting paid really, really good money as an ambassador, but he wouldn't be making the same because that money needs to go somewhere else, to run over people, which is their new motto. Brooks, not run happy, run over people.
Yeah.
I mean, my question is for this: does his extension, back to Josh Kerr talk, is his extension also aligned with Danny Mackey's contract at all? Like, is he just separate from that, from Brooks Beast? Is he separate from?
They would have separate, but I'm sure that if Josh is signing for a longer period of time, Danny
would have signed as well. Because that's my question: is that surely they want to keep the guy that's keeping Josh in this level?
Danny was in the photo.
He was in the photo.
It looked like a high school kid.
Yeah, he just
really.
He just announced what university he's going to.
I've decided to continue my athletic and academic career
At Brooks University.
Brooks University. That's what it looked like.
It did look like that, actually. I didn't even...
Is always to be a professional athlete.
Haters
This
in
is
the
like-
building.
The best scenario I could ever ask for.
Why are we we should be making fun of this, but...
the college coaches.
Yeah.
What a dream scenario. I'm working with my best friends and I have an amazing coach that can take
We're
me
giving
to the
this way
top
too much
level,
time.
and we get to show off the brand that is amazing to work with and makes the best gear.
Yeah.
This one.
Puts the hat on.
Literally the hat and everything.
Hand on
Having
the
the trust from
shoulder.
a brand to
He
be
did
able
put
to,
the hat on.
like, go the rest of your career and to really stamp my name on the sport. It's really fun.
Yeah. He also didn't mention the brand once.
He didn't say by name, yeah.
So we didn't give the brand too much attention there. Wow. Sick. He does deserve it.
100%.
Definitely
I mean,
deserves
like, I think Brooks is...
I want to know
in
if
debt to
something.
him.
I want to know if like that will spark someone
Other
else in
people.
the sport to do something similar.
Yeah.
Like that'd be really interesting if that actually the
True.
impact he's talking about making on the sport is actually that.
Next week we come and announce our 10-year contracts as well. That'd be pretty cool.
Coffee Club ambassador.
Who do you think... Okay, to our fans, who do you think's had a bigger impact on the sport? Coffee Club or Josh Kerr?
That's a good question.
Who has had a bigger impact on your perception of the sport? Is it Coffee Club or is it Josh Kerr? And honestly,
Comment below.
comment below.
Let us know.
Let us
We'd
know.
love to hear.
Also, like and subscribe.
What impact has Josh Kerr had on you?
And then next week we'll do Jakob. Next week we'll do Jakob. We'll do like what?
He's just showing up in their nightmares, probably. Honestly.
Yeah,
Oh well.
yeah.
I think that's a lovely place to close this.
that
one
is
out.
a.
Well, Ollie, best of luck this weekend.
Thanks, guys.
Get it going.
Yeah.
Get it started. Bust that rust.
I'm gonna bust that
Actually,
rust.
And everybody go. You're gonna have to tell me which day it is.
It's
Wish-
Wednesday.
Go wish Ollie happy birthday on.
Wednesday the 29th.
So it's
Wait, it
yesterday when
actually-
it comes to this.
Yeah.
It actually is Wednesday.
Yeah, so it's the day after. You can still wish
The
me
day
happy
before
birthday.
the- yeah.
Yeah, a day before.
Okay, day before.
Yeah.
Still wish me
Happy
happy
birth
birthday.
week.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Wish him happy birthday.
It's birthday week, which means that everybody has to be nice to me. So I was able to pull that one out. I made Tyson get a coffee for me this morning.
Really?
Well, I didn't make him. I asked him if he could get me a coffee. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, I can pay you. He's like, no, it's fine. I'll get you a coffee.
It's your birth week.
Ollie's birth week.
Birth week. Thank you guys.
Exciting
Thanks. Shout out
times.
to Mum. Thanks for doing your job.
Birthing me.
Birthing
Birthing
me.
you, rather.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's been episode 171 of the Coffee Club podcast. Thank you so much to everyone for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you guys all again next week. Bye bye.